Today I'm in Borlo at the museum Winter 1944. I've been here a few times due to the reenactment, but I never visited the museum. So I'm here today to show you the museum. I hope you enjoy the video. This World War II museum is located in the town of Borlo, Belgium. Just past the gate there's a Messerschmitt Bf 109 airplane engine, a tire of a Junkers airplane, and even a German concrete practice bomb. This is the courtyard of the Pachthof that contains the museum, a B&B and a tavern. Even here, as you see, are some of the World War II items already shown. The museum, which we visit in a minute, contains many personal objects and even a story about the getaway of the museum's owner's family. And it holds probably the largest collection of World War II female outfits and has been updated during the COVID period, so it's definitely worth a visit to see everything in person. I'm not a tour guide, but I'll discuss some of the items, displays and dioramas in this video. Now it's time to visit the ground floor of this 3-story museum. We'll start with this showcase, filled with, among other things, paperwork, books, obituaries and personal items from the Belgian Secret Army. Followed by this M45 Quadmount, nicknamed the Meatcutter because of its high firing speed, was a weapon assembly consisting of 4 heavy-barrel .50 cal M2 Browning machine guns. Although designed as an anti-aircraft weapon, it was also used against ground targets and was introduced in 1943. On the right we see a diorama with a Taylorcraft Auster, a British military aircraft used during World War II for liaison, light transport and artillery observation duties. After the start of the Second World War, the company developed the model further as an air observation post, flown by officers of the Royal Artillery and used for directing artillery fire of British Army Royal Artillery units. Here we see some different Belgian World War II uniforms, beautiful displayed on the wall. There's even a Belgian World War II tank helmet in this display case. This diorama shows a Belgian soldier at home called upon to join his unit in May 1940. Notice also the World War I practice dagger on the table. The display case in front of us contains, among other things, George van Nissendaal's personal items, such as children's shoes, toys and writing utensils. He was one of the men who committed a robbery at the prison of Hasselt on June 11, 1944. This diorama shows the life as a Belgian soldier in the barracks during May 1940. And here is the pilot's briefing room. On display on the left, we see the yellow Mae West life jacket, used during the Doolittle raid on April 18, 1942, to Japan, following the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. The waste bin you see in this diorama comes from the Mauthausen concentration camp, established in 1938 and was not, strictly speaking, an extermination camp. And in the back there is a Russian jacket that was worn by Germans in captivity. During the war, there was also attention for the religious experience of the soldiers. Here we see the display of a Catholic celebration. This diorama gives a good idea of how a food store looked like during the German occupation. Notice also the German guard in the back corner. And here's a carpenter's and cobbler's shop displayed during 1944-1945, which also was a place of resistance, where the people of the resistance met and printed flyers and newspapers. This diorama shows life during the liberation period in Belgium in mid-1945. In the evening there is time for a get-together with the locals. American soldiers are still on site to deal with the war damage in the liberated areas. The display of the military police is a tribute to Maurice Sperandieu, who joined the US Army at the end of the war. Notice also the US helmet on the floor. It was the first item collected by the owner, Ronnie, and the start of this great collection. This diorama shows two German cavalrymen in occupied territory during a rest break in 1940 till 1944. Somewhere in a barn of a farm on the 6th June 1944, during D-Day in Normandy, where US soldiers stay for a while before moving on. Here under the stairs, a British and American pilot take a rest after their landing. This great diorama represents the fortress of Eben Emael, built between 1932 and 1935 to guard the three bridges of Groenhoven, Velwezelt and Cannes. The fort was attacked by German gliders on 10 and 11 May 1940 and was quickly taken thanks to the shaped charges. The battle around the fort was the beginning of the Second World War for Belgium. The displays on the stairs contains information about the liberation of Waremme, Landen and Sint-Truiden. And now we see the possible equipment of a German bunker. We'll have a better view on top of the bunker. And this huge and great diorama is a tribute to the 2nd Armored Division, who were the liberators of the region around Gingelom, Heers and Sint-Truiden. Even after the liberation, US soldiers remained in Borlo and the surrounding areas. Personal, I really like this diorama with the US medics. And here we see that one had to be resourceful during the war. A M1 Garand was used as a drip holder. Very smart and effective. And in the back, on the left and right, there are two fully equipped foxholes. A quick overview of this large collection of personal US items. Here are various German uniforms, personal items, dishes, cutlery, and so on displayed. And around the corner, we'll see more German uniforms and field gear displayed. On this side, an overview of some German personal items. This diorama shows the German offensive in the Belgian Ardennes, the Battle of the Bulge, during the winter of 1944-1945. And this diorama looks like an ordinary civil house, but if you have a closer look, you can see a stowaway behind the fireplace. These stowaways could be civilians wanted by the occupiers, but also Jews and pilots. In the middle of the room are various pilots displayed. And here we see a pilot wearing a heavy winter flying suit. And over here, a pilot with a B-16 jacket. This case contains some hand grenades and TNT explosives, some US Signal Corps items, as pigeon containers, and a collection of shoe polish tins. And last but not least, this display a tribute to Fitje Pitts, an American Red Cross volunteer who was stationed in Brustem, Sint-Truiden, from April 13, 1945 till July 27, 1945. So, this is the American Red Cross, which played a vital role in World War II. During the war, nearly every family in America had a family member who volunteered in one way or the other, whether it was donating blood or helping in medical situations. The cabinet behind the nurse at the far back contains many medical instruments, including the American White Cross first aid tin, which contained bandages, scissors, and band-aids. The Red Cross helped with blood donations to make sure wounded troops had blood if they needed it. But most importantly, the nurses were there to take care of the sick and wounded. An amputee saw can be seen, which was made out of metal, for easy sterilization in the field hospitals. The sterilizer was vital in any hospital, and many surgeons didn't have much time in between operations to get equipment ready. This sterilizer could work in 20 minutes, making it a fast and effective way of keeping things sterile. This diorama shows the image of a bar during and after deliberation, where people could have a drink, relax, and play board games. In this living room, starting from the left, stands a soldier of the Irish Guard, followed by a dispatch rider of the Royal Army Service Corps, a British colonel, and a soldier of the Royal Artillery sitting at the table while smoking a cigarette. Here we see the female uniforms of an Army flight nurse, a Navy nurse, a Green Navy flight nurse winter uniform, and sitting in the front, a Red Cross Staff Assistance Corps uniform with a cape with a golden lining. These cabinets contain some remaining items of the 2nd Armored Division after the liberation of Borlo. The left display case contains a uniform and several items of the Royal Air Force. And on top of the display cases stands stereoscopic rangefinder, which is an optical device that measures distance from the observer to a target. The rest of the display cases are filled with British communication equipment, personal and hygienic items, knitted underwear, first aid kits, and even a children's gas mask is displayed. These German display cases contain, among other things, all kind of paperwork, razor blades, some badges, a medical helmet, first aid items and boxes, stamps, pictures, money, cutlery, phones, and tools. The top of the black display case is filled with several bayonets, and in the right bottom, a US Army nurse blue service uniform with Garrison cap is displayed. And we'll end this tour with the rest of the huge collection of women's uniforms, which contains Army, Navy, and even more Red Cross uniforms. And lots of female personal items. So really too much to mention. So I want to thank the owners for letting me film this amazing collection. The museum is definitely worth the visit to have a better look of the items and all the stories. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and hit the bell button.